from Syracuse University to talk about this. You know, just a week ago we were talking about a terrorist attack in New York City. Now, whenever there's an attack, we wonder, is it terrorism? And how do you define terrorism? This obviously is not ISIS motivated. This appears to have been domestic violence. How would you categorize what we saw today? How is it like other shootings in the past?
Well, mass shootings are increasing in the United States. They have been really since Columbine, which was in 1999. We've had hundreds so far this century. We've had also hundreds of school shootings this century. It's a cancer that's growing, and we need to do something about it, and we don't have enough safeguards. Kelly should have been on a watch list. For someone to receive a bad conduct discharge, which is worse than a dishonorable discharge, he should have been, wherever he went, been on the radar screen of law enforcement in those communities.
Bill, after an incident like this, there's always talk, right, about mental health. There's talk about guns. And everyone always says, we need to do more for prevention. What does that look like? What does that mean?
Well, the problem with mental health is that the bar is so high that you can't commit someone without their consent unless they are a threat, a danger to themselves or to other human beings, suicide or homicide. You can't do it. And once you're beyond the age of 18, your freedoms are going to be taken away from you in the minds of lawmakers. I think we need to toughen that law in some fashion so that if we identify someone who is a repeat offender, in this case domestic violence, he did it when he was in the Air Force with his first wife. He did it in his hometown in Texas with his second wife. There's something wrong with someone who has a history of violence to begin with. And I think we should have had a watch list. We should have safeguards in place. So I think we need to have a conversation with ourselves in our communities. I think we can do it right here in Syracuse with how can we do a better job of keeping one another informed, and how can we identify someone who is about to misbehave. And I think we can do that. We have to do a better job, or it's going to just get worse.
Do you feel like that the culture of instant media, instant social media, instant cable news, all those things contributes to this cycle gaining speed and pace?
It does.
Relative to history?
It does. And I sat there Sunday waiting for that news conference, and there was obviously a voice in the background trying to say something that meant something to take up that time.
Right.
And it was endless.
Right.
And so there were millions of people listening to that same newscast, and I think, quite frankly, it doesn't do justice to the problem, because it's not about a solution, it's about the problem. We need solutions to these problems that we are facing.
It's complex.
It is complex.
Thank you, Bill Smullen,
Bill,
for your
thank you so
expertise.
much.
We appreciate it coming in.